Good morning and welcome to SlimChat. Figure out what I was doing then. Yeah, SlimChat. Good morning. So last night, guess what? I remembered to make overnight oats. Yay! So we've got that for breakfast. That'll be fun. It'll be different because we've not had it for so long. But I just got out of the habit of making it, and I just kept forgetting to make it, and so we'd have a toastie every morning or something, but we ran out of cheese, so that wasn't a great deal to put in a toastie. And while the boys were working on the house before, I was having dry frying bacon for my little sandwiches, or tuna, something like that. But so now, yeah, overnight oats today. That would be a nice change. I have to remember to make them a bit more often because, you know, it's good to have them. But I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what we're having for dinner. I've got a feeling it's something with chicken. Maybe, we have got some noodles in the fridge which we do need to use up, so maybe we're having that. Yeah, probably, because otherwise they'd go off. So yeah, we've probably got that. But yesterday we had a most amazing lamb shank, and I'm not sure if you have the shanks where you are, but they're kind of like, they kind of make you think of a knuckle, but they're not a knuckle, obviously, because that'd only be like this big. They're a joint, like a ball joint, and the meat all that surrounds it in this big chunk, which is gorgeous, and was slow cooked for ages, so it just fell apart. It was absolutely lovely. So we had that, and it was a very nice dinner, and so we didn't overindulge yesterday, and that was really all we had all day. So in the evening I had a banana sandwich. I love banana sandwiches, and banana obviously is free, so yeah, I had banana sandwich because it was a bit peckish, but it was ridiculously hot, so there was no way after dinner. It was fine during the day, it wasn't quite as bad, but in the evening, I don't care how hungry I would have been, I would not have cooked anything, would not have had the cooker on for anything. Would have just had to eat raw stuff. It was too hot for cooking. And it's lovely and cool today. There's a breeze even. A breeze! Can you believe it? I haven't seen one of them for a long while. It's like an extinct animal come back. Breeze! Wow! So excited just to be cold. I think my Facebook status was, please, can I just have one cold day and night? And I'm getting it, I think. It's dropped quite a lot. It really has. I think it's 19. Still a tad humid, but if you open the windows and get a bit of air circulating, it's not as bad. But if you're out of the breeze, it's still a bit hot and sticky. But a darn sight better. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm so thankful for it. Really needed it, I was starting to get really wrung out, and I thought if it was anything like last night, I was just going to spend the whole day in a cold bath, just sit there all day, because it's the only way to be wet but not hot and wet. So I'm kind of just going to sit in that and stay there. I don't care if I do prune, I'd rather be pruny and cool. So we've got to pop out soon. We've got to go shopping. So we've got to go get some wood for my craft room and stuff like that, building stuff. But we do need to go and get some shopping. So we have run out of cheese ages ago, and although we went into a shop, we didn't get much at the time. We just got enough for the dinner that we were making, and that. But we need to get some drinks and some shopping. Grocery shopping. And what day is it today? Oh, probably going to be a bit busy with holiday makers down. There was a big thing going on yesterday at the holiday camp around the corner. So to get to this place, you have to drive through them. It's not really driving through them, but what they've done is over the years they've had an extension built to their holiday camp, which used to, as you come in, it used to be over there. So you'd be on the left hand side of you as you're driving, and then suddenly they expanded, so they were left hand of the road and the right hand side of the road, and then they expanded a bit more, so they were even further down that road, and then they expanded even more, so they got closer to the sea that way. So that particular holiday camp has about like 6 little parks, 5 or 6, and they've got names, like 1, 2, and no, some of them have got nice names as well, but they've got like these little add-on bits. So although it's one big park, it's 4 or 5, I think it's 5 different little parks. Anyway, when Gary had to go to the shop for some reason, and he took Sophia and I gave her some money for some sweets, but he had to go get something for dinner, I think. Anyway, when he came back, he said that the police were all at the village hall planning, and then when he got down here, the police had stopped anyone from coming or going. So there's obviously a raid. It was either a raid or a siege. I said, when they meet at the village hall, that's a rendezvous point. So that's where they decide strategy and stuff like that. And if they need ambulance, they'll get them there. And if they need fire crews, they'll get them there. So it's an RV point. So I said, that's what that was. And obviously it was something big to have an RV point. It was either a drugs raid or a sort of a siege of some kind, someone holding somebody as a hostage. But I really want to know. And it's like there's no jungle drums to tell me what's going on. Bit of excitement round the corner anyway. Wonder what that was. If I ever find out, I shall tell you. But crazy times. I think it's just the heat and humidity is sending everybody a bit doolally, It does, doesn't it? It does actually affect you that way. It sort of sends you a bit over the top. Did them, whoever they were, anyway. But it was a big operation, whatever it was. Just don't know what it was. When I used to work for the ambulance service, I always knew, because you'd be privy to the information. It was a great job for a nosy cow. I used to work for the police many years ago. It was an even better job for a nosy cow, but I gave it up because where I worked, it was only I was a civilian, but I was working in an office of the Force Intelligence Bureau, and it makes me sound really clever, but it was like watching a crime show every day, like Crime Watch. It was like watching that every day, and all you heard about were the bad things that went on, and it made you a little paranoid about people and whether you could trust anyone anymore. And so I just decided, this really isn't for me. I don't want to know what happened in that pub every time I drive by it, knowing what went on in there, the seedier side of life. So I thought, when I saw the job for the ambulance service, I jumped ship, because I thought it was still helping people in a much different way, and so it's still not working for a company who thinks of profit above all else, but at the same time it was helping people in a different way. So that's why I kind of jumped onto the ambulance service. Stayed there for 13 years. It was one of those jobs that I loved to hate. I used to moan about it constantly, and all the things that were wrong with it, and all the stupid management that would change things, like the higher management, and keep changing it and changing it and changing it and just making it worse and worse and worse, and then end up changing it back to how it was in the first place, which didn't obviously work. But and the stupid kind of things that they bring in, and the relentless pressure of the 12-hour shifts in this busy thing, took its toll in the end, and I had to leave because I just couldn't do it anymore. But it was enjoyable at times, and I loved, because I used to work as a dispatcher, so I used to talk to the crews. In the early days I was a dispatcher on something called the response desk, so I dealt with cars, bikes, air ambulance, and doctors, station staff, all those sort of people. And then the last 6 or 7 years I was a dispatcher and radio over the radio with the ambulances and A&Es and departments in hospitals, EDs they call them now. But that was fun. That was it. But it was also tiring and lots of pressure and an awful rota that was just a killer to work. So after 13 years, you just suddenly go, oh, I can't do this anymore. I need to get out of here and find a normal, proper job. But then, and I was saying yesterday, it's funny that every single job I've had has been somewhere that you have to work, because they're open 24/7, 365 days a year. So whether it's Christmas, New Year or whatever, if you're rotated to work, then you work. I've never been lucky enough to have one of these places that just close and say, right, we're closed all over Christmas, we're closed all over New Year. No, never been that lucky. I've always had, well, we're a service, so we're open, and you know, it doesn't matter. So I've always been very unlucky that way. Apart from the only one that was different was the police, because they would offer triple time and they'd suspend all rotas, and they would just ask people who wants to work it. And of course all the young people who didn't have kids would say, you know, I'll do it, because they were earning triple time. And so you would always get it off because but then they wanted New Year. So you know, if you were unlucky and you got nights over New Year, then you're unlucky. But a lot of them would take it because they were saving up for a house or something. So you didn't often have to do anything like that, which was really cool. And I thought all places should work that way. That way the youngsters who want it can have the work, and all the people with families who want to be at home with their children at Christmas can do it. I thought it was a pretty intelligent way of working. But it does involve them having to pay them quite a bit of money to do it. An incentive. Anyway, I'm digressing, so I need to go shopping, so I'm going to end off now and get ready to go to the shops and write down the materials I need for the little DIY projects we've got going. And definitely remember to write a list for shopping, because you know the shops are too far away just to pop out. You know, it's a trek, so you need to make sure you remember everything. So I do need to write a list. So thanks for watching, and I will probably, if I can, if it continues like this, do another cooking video, but it's been far too hot to do anything like that. But if it carries on where it cools down like this, then I'll do another cooking video. So thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Don't forget your masks when you go out, and no more risk taking. So bye for now. Stay safe.